Our last speaker before this morning's break, in a long line of inspirational speakers from yesterday and from today, is actually, I know, the only Grammy Award winner who'll be speaking to you today at Gamification Summit. And not just a Grammy Award winner, but also has won a number of other awards, including MTV Video Music Award, a BET Award, and has been nominated for a bunch of other awards, also multi-platinum selling artist both in the music and ringtone markets, and is an entrepreneur who both invests in small startups and runs his own organization. And when we were programming the original schedule for Gamification Summit, and we were discussing having the artist Chamillionaire come join us as a speaker, I got so excited. If you know something about Chamillionaire and his consumer-facing site, his community site, about the Chamillitary, which is what he calls his community, you'll know that not only is he a trendsetter and forward-thinking person about the subject of games and gamification as it relates to community, but also for all of us in the room, it's important to think about how a strong personal brand, and especially a strong personal brand connected to the arts, connects with its consumers using gamification, helps generate a community around that, and helps drive the kinds of long-term engagement that we're looking for. And it's so with great, great pleasure and honor, welcome up to the stage, Chamillionaire. Also, just for the record, at some point, I'd love to win a Grammy. But I'm not a very good singer, so it probably won't happen. Right. Thanks so much, dude. So nice to have you.
Thank you.
Here's your clicker, buddy.
All
Thanks.
Right. How's everybody doing this morning? All good? I love that intro. You know what? I need everybody to raise your hands. Everybody. Put your hands down. Hands up. Hands down. Okay, I just want to make sure you are paying attention, because I can't get up here and talk about engagement and not have the crowd engaged with me. You understand? So I love the intro, how he was talking about my Grammy and all this type of stuff, but I don't have my music hat on right now. A lot of people see me at tech conferences and stuff, and they're like, what do you know about gamification? What do you know about the stuff that we know? And, me, I've been on this long quest to try to find out, I used to do a lot of stuff online before I ever got signed to a major label. I used to be online doing live, sessions for my fans before everybody started getting on this .net, .org stuff. I was before everybody. So I had all these fans on my website. I would bring everybody else's fans to my website, and I would do all kind of cool and creative things. And I'd always go through these different phases of my website where I would find somebody and say, hey, how can I make this website awesomer, right? And you know what they would say? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to give you our template. Our template says we're going to get a contact us page. We're going to get a tour schedule page. And those pages, frankly, are pages that people never go to. So I was like, how can I make these pages become something that I want them to matter? I'm spending money with you, and everybody I go with, I spend money with, they always give me a whole bunch of pages that nobody ever goes to. Nobody ever replies to that Contact Us page. Nobody ever goes to the tour schedule page because they can go to Twitter or Facebook and get all that type of stuff. And if I do go once, I'm not going to stay there. So I was like, man, there's got to be a way to do this. So I sell all these records independently. I make it all the way to the NBA of the music industry, New York, Universal Records. I get this big deal. Give me millions. Wow, everything's wonderful. I walk into this building. They've got these tall skyscrapers and hundreds of thousands of employees. And I walk in there and I say, I want to keep control of my website, Chamillionaire.com. And they don't allow this. They say, no, when you sign to us, you give us your domain. And we take over. We bring in the big guns. And I'm like, okay, can you do this? I have like a Shoutcast server on there, and we're like doing music. Can you do this? Can you do this? And they say, we don't have the resources to do that. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm just one person. I'm selling all these records independently, and I make it all the way up to the big leagues, and you don't have the resources. And they say, yeah, we don't have the resources to do that. So you know what happened? I ended up keeping control of Chamillionaire.com. So this is, this never happens. And I started looking at all these websites they had. They had LilWayne.com and Nelly.com, and they own these. The artist doesn't even own the website. And I go to them, and it's like a ghost town. There's nobody there. And I'm like, how could Lil Wayne sell 1 million records first week and there's nobody on his website. You know why? Because it's a contact us page and nobody thinks they can get in touch with Lil Wayne. And I was like, man, I gotta go on this quest to find somebody that can help me get this audience engaged. You know, they need to pay attention to what I'm saying. Like, you know, I'm posting on my site, I'm going on Google, I'm finding images. Nah, this one's not good, it's only 500. I'm gonna get one that's 600. Yeah, this one's bigger, this one's nicer, higher resolution. I'm posting it up, I'm making my blog post, I'm thinking up my thoughts. No, I don't like that, let me change it. I change it up, and then I post it, and nobody responds. And it's like, man, I'm a busy guy, man. I could be riding Ferraris with Puff Daddy somewhere, you know what I mean? And y'all got me doing all this, and you're not gonna respond to my posts? I know you're there. There's people looking at the site, and they're looking at it every day, but they're not coming out of the shadows. So I was like, what could I do? So my quest led me to tech conferences. I'm sitting there, people are looking at me like, who's this guy with the chain? What is he doing here? You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I'm gonna find somebody that has the resources to actually do this. So my quest leads me along the way, and I finally get to Big Door. And Big Door is saying, you know what, we've got this cool, I don't even believe him. I'm like, whatever, I've heard this 1,000 times, no way. Your rewards loyalty program, okay, it sounds cool, and it's gonna cost $1 million, it's gonna be hard to implement and all this stuff, and then I was completely wrong. You know, it didn't cost a lot, it was actually affordable, it was actually something that, you know, it was easy to implement into my website. And then I was thinking, okay, let me think of some creative ways to do this. And they're like, you know, everybody has these gamification things where they give away rewards, and technically they say, well, it's not really a real reward, it's just a badge or something, or, you know, status. And people love status. That's why nowadays people come up to you and introduce themselves without even telling you their name first. They tell you how many followers they got on Twitter first. You know what I mean? Or how many Facebook likes they have. And, you know, we're all about status. So I feel like the people that are looking at the site, they're the same way. So I was trying to find a way to bring them out the shadows, and then we implement this. So, you know, the rewards loyalty thing, just to be clear, you don't have to be an artist to have people that want to be involved in what you're doing. I don't care if you do comedy, whatever you do, you just have to find something that they want because they're coming to your site for a reason, and you have to give them that as a reward. Now, it doesn't have to be physical. I took it to the next level because I was like, what is everybody else doing? Okay, I'm gonna do 10 times bigger than that. I'm the type of guy that if somebody else is doing 2 rewards, I wanna do 80, you know? Because I went to Universal, and every time I would think big, my dreams were big, it would always be dumbed down. Like, you know, they say, oh, you're gonna put out an album, we're gonna do a gold ticket. So we're gonna put a gold ticket in the album, and one lucky winner is gonna win. Does anybody ever met somebody that's won a gold ticket? Do you know somebody that's won the lottery? We never meet these people. So I was like, wouldn't it be easier to put like maybe 100 gold tickets out there so that people would really feel like they're gonna win this? And they're like, nah, we could just do one. And I'm like, man, this is the cheapest major label ever. I was like, well, I'm gonna do 20, you know? And it's part of the process that made me get to this point where I went platinum, and then I had to buy plaques for everybody in the world. So I actually purchased a whole bunch of big platinum plaques for people. And then when I was sending them out at Universal, they were like, I want you to send them to people, this person. They had a list of people, all these DJs and people that never played my record. And I actually sent it to them. I spent a lot of money, over $20,000, and sent plaques to people, and I would be going places and I'd see my plaque on the wall, a guy that doesn't even like me, you know what I mean? And I was like, why did I do that? Why are we rewarding people that didn't do nothing? There has to be a way to really find out when somebody actually really did something for you. So the next time I bought plaques, I bought a whole bunch of plaques. I spent $30,000 this time, and I told the label, this time we're gonna give them to fans. And they were like, what? And I was like, no, I went into the building, I signed them all myself, and I was like, no, we're shipping these to fans. You're gonna leave them here, and when I get back, I'm gonna give you a whole list of fans that really did stuff for me, that really bought my album, they're gonna prove it to me, and we're gonna send these to those fans. So the fans now are getting these plaques, and they're posting them everywhere like, hi, I got a Chamillionaire platinum plaque. So there's some random kid in Idaho that has a plaque of mine in his mom's basement, and it's a platinum plaque of a Chamillionaire, and his friends are walking in there looking like, man, how the heck do you have that? And he's like, man, I bought his album. And he just sent it to him. They're like, you bought his album and he gave you a platinum plaque? And he's like, yeah. But there's like a whole bunch of people that have those. So I'll go through the slides real quick. So now when I talk about loyalty, right, I talk about this vault. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a vault on my website, right? So instead of this little golden ticket idea, I'm gonna put a vault, and in the vault, we're gonna have a leaderboard. So all of these fans are gonna do actions for me. I believe it's a relationship. If I do stuff for you, you do stuff for me back. You don't just sit there and look at me blog and give you all my content. You're just consuming it and not giving me nothing back. The least you could do is give me a share on your Facebook page, give me a share on Twitter, just share the content. That's all I ask, because all of these people are doing it and they're spreading it and making my stuff viral and bringing people back. I feel like that's worth something to me. I feel like that you're bringing more people so that now when I speak, it's more people paying attention to what I'm saying. And that's why I'm here. I'm not wasting my time. I don't want to, they say a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to see it. That's not my website. It's a lot different on Chamillionaire.com. I'm doing stuff like I put up the rewards. I say you can get a Twitter shout out from me. You can get a Facebook shout out from me. I'll put up a new song and I'll say, okay, I'm going to put up a new song. I'm going to record this song if the Miami Heat lose. I'm going to say, hey, Miami Heat lost. I'm going to say it on the song, and then I'm going to put the song out. And after you get to a certain level, then I'm going to let the song go. So now all these fans are trying to do whatever I say just to get the song to unlock. But all they're doing is sharing all my content, and now I'm driving them where I want to drive them on my site. Every page. It's not going to be a dead page. If I want you to look at the Contact Us page, I can make you look at the Contact Us page, and I can make you comment because you want what I'm going to reward you with, right? So you could call it bribing. I don't really think so. I think it's genius. So look, this is some of the stuff I started putting up in the reward center. I put up a Mixtape Messiah plaque. This is one of my mixtapes. I went and made a plaque for it. I've got the original painting from my second album. I've got the jacket I wore in the Riding Dirty video. And they're like, man, why do we give away all this stuff? I'm like, man, you know what entertainers really do with this stuff? They leave it in the closet and it just collects dust. I don't have any need for it. So I was like, I'm going to sign everything and you can have it. What I did is I took all of it, sent it to a fulfillment company, and then every time a fan wins one and they reach their accomplishment, then it comes out of the vault and it gets sent to them. Yeah, it cost me, $20 to ship it, but I mean, I made a little money. I think I could spend the money to, send somebody a plaque, So, and then it's so many people going for it. But what happens is when a fan really wins this thing, right? It's a countdown counter on the site also. It counts down, and when it counts down to the day that this reward ends, then the reward actually gets sent to the fan. The fan sends me the picture. I upload the picture for everybody, and he brags to everybody like, haha, look at me with the plaque. And all the fans realize now this is real. This is not a golden ticket thing anymore. It's just like I'm really winning something. So I have if you go on Chamillionaire.com, you'll see a lot of stuff on there. So what happens is the fans, I kind of use the military theme. My company is called Chamilitary, Chamillionaire, Chamilitary makes sense. So we started doing levels and badges, like, you could become a sergeant, a general, and all these different levels in the Chamilitary. So now these fans have bragging rights. Like earlier today, or this was yesterday, I was at 24 Hour Fitness and I walked in and this guy was like, hey man, I'm your biggest fan. When are you dropping a new mixtape? And I was like, wait a second, I just dropped a new mixtape, and you're not my biggest fan because what number are you on the leaderboard on my website? And he was like, oh yeah, he didn't even know. So I was like, oh no, you're not my biggest fan because my biggest fans are on the leaderboard. They're. So now I know these are the people that when I see at a show, if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I'm Sean, number 28 on the leaderboard, I'm like, hey man, come backstage with me. You know what I mean? Because you're my buddy now. You've actually worked and proved that you're worth this. You know what I mean? So all that biggest fan stuff does not matter anymore to me. So what they're doing is they're unlocking rewards. Sometimes we throw in random stuff. Like I threw up the OG badge. The OG badge, I just thought this up. Okay, I'm going to give an OG badge. It's only going to be for 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks. And the reason why we're going to put it there for 2 weeks is because later on down the line, 10 years from now, there's going to be people that says, yeah, I've been here from the start. But if you don't have an OG badge, no, you haven't. The OG badge started off and now people, and I wish I would have had this 10 years ago. I'd be controlling the world right now. I can make these fans do whatever I want them to do. So, I have a follow from Chamillionaire on Twitter, and I didn't realize how powerful this was. I was like, okay, let's see how much I can reward. I can put this up in the reward center and make it 1,000 points. And let's see who's going to redeem 1,000 points for this. I should have made it 10,000 because I didn't know they were going to go so quick, So I put a voicemail drop up. I say, okay, I'm going to do your voicemail message. I'm going to pick 5 people, put this in the reward center, and whoever redeems it, you're going to be the people that are going to get a voicemail drop from me. It's real easy. They email me and they tell me, hey, my name's MC Sean or something. And I'll be like, all right, I'll leave a message on my iPhone, email it to them, bam, you got the message. And you put it on your voicemail. Simple. So they're actually sharing everything I'm doing just to get something as simple as that, and it takes, 10 seconds out of my day, all right? So now this is what they're doing. They're sharing, and every time they're sharing, it's putting the hashtag Chamillitary on Twitter. So now I can keep track on Twitter of every single person that's really, a fan. I'm clicking on the hashtag and seeing who's working, seeing who's not, seeing who's paying attention, following these people, DMing them, and they feel good because they're like, man, Chamillionaire platinum rapper is DMing me. He's making me feel like I'm a part of his military. Yeah, we're gonna go take over the world. We're gonna go have an army. Nobody can defeat us. And it just gets really crazy. I'm gonna show you that in a second. So see that right there? That's my logo. I don't know why this guy put this on his back, but I think he's trying to show me his loyalty. He's trying to show me he's loyal to me, and that's what they want to do. They want to be a part of something. I go to conferences and I say, how many of your kids listen to hip hop? And they all say, oh, my kids don't listen to hip hop. And I'll say, you don't know your kids very well, do you? Because what happens is they're doing stuff like this. And because I end up being a voice for them, and I can't even really explain it. So this guy says, hey, I'm going to put your logo on my head. I didn't tell him to do that. He did that. This girl, she's from overseas. She got the big painting of me up on the top in her room. And this guy, oh man, that's crazy. He puts my lizard logo on his leg with red eyes. Looks, I don't know, man. I actually told him at one point, y'all got to stop doing this. This is kind of freaking me out, So then this guy says, hey, I'm going to put it on the back of my car. I'm not going to spend the money to fix my roof, but I'm going to put your logo on the top of my car. This guy says, hey, I've got one real copy of your shirt. The one he's wearing in the back, that's the real shirt that I sold on my website, which you can get points for getting that too. But anyways, so the other shirts are not real. Those are bootleg shirts that he made, But I mean, I don't know what to tell him about that. And this guy right here, he says, I'm going to put your logo on the side. And that quote is not really a quote for me, but I don't want to tell him that. I don't know whose quote that is. I never said that, but, it's like, this guy says, hey, I'm going to make a cake. My birthday cake is all about Chamillionaire. You know what I mean? This guy says, I'm getting married, and that represents me and my wife, and that's a wedding cake. I promise. He had a Chamillionaire wedding, and I was like, man, this is crazy, man. God bless your wife, man. God bless your wife, man. You know what I'm saying? And then this guy, he has like 2 lizards on the side, a quote of mine across the top. And notice this is guys, which is kind of crazy. Like, where are the women at doing this stuff, man? And this is a brother and sister. The brother and sister both said, man, we came up on your music, you motivate us, and you meant something to us, so we both got matching tattoos, and that's kind of cute, you know what I mean? So, and then this last one, man, look at that, man. I think I look a lot better than that. That is a girl from Russia. That's her arm. Is that crazy? You mean to tell me they don't want to show their loyalty to me? We have to find a reward system where we can actually quantify what the heck they're really doing, who's really loyal. If they'll do that, how far will they go online for me? How much of my stuff will they share? There are people that are sharing everything. I'm looking at my sites. Everything is increasing by 300%. There's 1,000 comments. There's 400 comments, everything. Before it used to be a ghost town, and now they're commenting on everything. What happens is the reward bar at the top loads, and you get on the site. You get on it. It's real easy. You sign up, give us your email address, and now I put quests up at the top of the rewards bar. So I'll say, hey, I want you to pay attention to this post. You click on the quest, and it takes you to the post, and as you comment, then it'll give you however many coins I decided to give you. If it was 5 coins for looking at this, 5 coins for commenting. And at first I thought, okay, if I'm trying to like drive them where I want and give them coins for commenting, they're just gonna comment and say first and stuff like that just to try to, get the coins. But then I looked, and if you pay attention to what they're saying, they're all reading everything I'm saying. So now I started feeling like, wow, I'm teaching these kids now. I gotta do something. I gotta teach them about the music industry and the evils of, entertainment industry, so they'll be smart, because most of these kids want to be entertainers. So I started putting up more motivational stuff, and it started getting so hectic that fans started emailing me personal stories about their lives and their parents, and it's just this connection that it's like, wow, man, I feel like I'm like some kind of like ring lord leader of the Chamillitary cult, which that power is kind of crazy power to have. But then I thought, you know what? It doesn't have to be about being a star. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be about being, as having as much swagger as me. You don't have to have as much swagger as me to do this, You have to be somebody that has an audience that just wants to engage with them, man. I don't care if you're Walgreens. I don't care if, you have to care about what people want. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person that looks at the comments and cares what they say. Hey, this is what you can do to improve. This is what you can do. This is the song I like. This is the song I didn't like. And that has helped me throughout my whole career. You know, I feel like there's a reason why I was one of the biggest, highest selling ringtone sellers ever. I don't know how that happened. It was because I was up on the digital stuff ahead of time. And it's not just because I was just throwing content out there. I was really paying attention to people. When the market was shifting and stuff was moving over to ringtones, I got on it early because, okay, this is what everybody's saying, and I was paying attention. When people started shifting off of MySpace, I knew ahead of time. I was like, oh, I'm out of there. You know what I mean? Because I was like, hey, everybody's about to leave there. Trust me, let's go over here to, you know, Facebook, you know? So I was paying attention to people, and I think that's what it takes. That's the attribute that it takes for somebody to actually be able to be successful with something like this. So my website is chamillionaire.com. I'm not really as active as people would think when it comes to other websites because I believe in like capturing email addresses. I believe in, you know, getting a real audience. You go to Twitter, you go to Facebook, and you do all this type of stuff. And I think I'm anti everything because I believe that everybody has it wrong. You know, some people believe that rewards don't matter, and it doesn't have to be a physical reward. I just decided to do that because I knew what my audience wanted. It could be, you know, if you do comedy, you just, you know, give them more comedy. If you're a pretty woman and you post pictures on Instagram all day, you might as well just give them some, you know, use that as a reward for people to make them do something for it instead of giving it to them for free. That's how I feel. It's not about money. It's not about money. I made a lot of money without ever trying to get money, you know, and that was the crazy thing. They always say when they introduced me as a Grammy Award winner. And it's like, man, I won a Grammy. I didn't even try. I did not have dreams of winning a Grammy. I always went out there and always focused on authenticity with the people. And people can see that. So when the song came out, it wasn't just because it was a good song, it was because of the story behind it. It's because, man, I watched this guy. He told me his struggles. Everything seemed authentic. He didn't go with the corporate structure. They were like, oh, we're going to put on a suit, and we're going to put on a tie, we're going to make you seem like this guy that you're not. I was like, man, I'm not going to lie to these people. They can tell. They can tell the difference. They can tell when you're really posting or you're really tweeting for yourself or if somebody else is doing it. You know what I mean? And also, so many people get caught up in numbers, you know. I know there's a lot of sites that are a lot bigger than mine, you know, but, man, I'm powerful, man. Like, I remember one time I was like, you know what, we're going to get my song to the #1 on iTunes. And Universal was like, no way. You're not going to do this Ustream. We don't have a deal with them. You can't do that. And I did it anyways, because I said, I know where the people are, and my fans are going to get this song to #1. I ended up putting out a video, I put out a song, and I watched that thing go to the top of the iTunes charts. There's a lot of people that have way more followers than me that can't even do it, but it's because they're so engaged. I said, you know what, if I could do this today, I could probably do this every day. I could get off of a major label and mess up the whole iTunes charts every day if I felt like it. And I was like, that power is like, so when I was leaving Universal, I was like, I'm not gonna go back to a major label right now. I'm gonna explore my options. Everybody's like, what? You wanna go talk to little nerds on a website? I was like, man, the potential for what's possible is just, it's exciting to me. You know, I'm really passionate about this stuff. I'm not here because I'm getting paid. I'm here because I'm actually passionate about people and interacting with them. So just to make sure you're paying attention, I need everybody to throw your hands up in the air. Everybody put your hands down. Everybody put your hands up. All right, come here, CeeLo, come here. What we're finna do is I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna include all y'all in the picture. I'm gonna upload it on my Facebook page and my website. I need everybody to go to the picture and tag yourselves, all right? Can y'all do that for me? Can you do that for me? No, trust me, this will be real awesome, all right? Now listen, I want you to shine your grill or fix your weave or whatever you gotta do to get right for this picture, right? So everybody throw your hands up in the air. He's gonna take the picture. I'm just gonna look real cool in a picture like this. Oh, take one more. We gotta make sure we got a good one. Thank you. My name's Chamillionaire. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. So we have a few minutes for questions with Chamillionaire, but I have one for you. So,
sure,
authenticity, like being yourself, being honest, which is, I think, a big theme about what it is that you say. So, clearly for you, you have a strong personal brand, you've got strong opinions, you've got a voice for yourself. Can you project out for somebody or for a brand, you threw like Walgreens out there, can you think about if you don't have a strong person connected, how do they create authenticity with you?
I think so many people are looking at other people's marketing plans and schemes and saying, oh, well, this works for Old Spice, we can do that. Or it's not really about that. I think it's about knowing what people want from you. Like, that was what happened to me when I went to the major label. They were like, oh, we're going to put on this bow tie with you. We're going to make you make Justin Bieber songs. And I was like, no, people want Justin Bieber songs from Justin Bieber. They don't want that from me. You know, so I knew what people wanted from me, and I think everybody has to have that internal talk with themselves. Like, what are people coming to me for? You know, and then you give them more of that, give them more content. Like, I always see these companies, and companies are always being so greedy. They don't want to give it up. They're like, okay, well, we're going to give you 2% off of this. No, man. If the people want it, give it to them, man. It's nothing. Just throw it to them, because they're going to be, when they see that somebody's really getting it, then they're going to be way more engaged. It doesn't even actually have to be a physical item. It can be, you know, I see all these people that do comedy and they get all these views, but they're just not doing it in the right way. You know, these people are sharing it, and there's somebody that shares it, and there's somebody that shared it 2 years ago, and there's somebody that shared it 3 years ago, and I can't keep track of that person because I never brought them to one place. And I think, you know, Big Door is a way that you can actually find a way to keep, one, you get their email address, so I can always stay in contact with them, and then I can always find a way to reward them. I can break it down and say, you know what, I want to reward just the people that retweeted this song. I didn't ask anybody to retweet it. I was just going to look and see all the people that retweeted this song, and just because you did it, I never asked you to do it, I appreciate it, I'm going to reward just y'all. So I'm breaking it down like that, and people are just realizing, well, I just need to be loyal to the guy because he's going to show me love.
So just briefly, too, I'm curious. You showed, obviously, all those crazy tattoos and cakes, and those are hilarious and weird. But were there any of the other rewards that really kind of surprised you at how popular they were? Were there things that you thought, that's not really going to work, and that people were just like crazy about them?
Yeah, I really didn't get following somebody on Twitter. Like, you know, I already follow enough people, and, you know, when somebody really wants me to follow them, and then I would see when I'd follow them, then it was more like people, I think they just want to be important, you know what I mean? So it's like, he's following me, and that means that he's paying attention to every one of my tweets, and now I'm tweeting because I'm trying to seem cool for him, and it's like, I have so much noise on my timeline, I don't even see it, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to tell them that. I'm like, yeah, I'm following you, I'm seeing all your tweets, you know? And every now and then I try to respond to one of those people just so they know that I'm paying attention, but in realistic, it's hard for me to keep.
Really follow
everybody. So stuff like that, and then sometimes, honestly, you know, it's cool that people compete for all the stuff I got involved, but a lot of times they just want the personal touch, you know? Like, I'll do a call thing where once a month I'll have a call with a fan. And then I was like, okay, how can I find a way to where I can do more fans? So maybe I'll do like a conference call where they call in a conference number, and then we all just talk, and for 30 minutes they can ask me questions, we're talking, record it, and then put it up on the site so everybody else can hear it. So something like that is like, wow, he spent his time out of his day. Instead of getting in Lambos with Diddy, he's hanging with me. You know what I mean? And that makes them feel, I think you have to make your consumer feel important, you know what I mean? And if you can do that, companies are always about me. They have to find a way to make it be about them. So I always listen to them and say, what do you want? And then, like, if I make a comment right now and I say, hey, my day was like this, blah, 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 I'll get a certain amount of comments. But if I ask the open-ended question on my website, how was your day? Man, everybody's going to come and say, man, my mother, man, she's getting on my nerves, man. And it's like, because it's really about them. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to focus on, you know? That just works good for me.
Thank you so much, Cam. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks.